Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nurul. I work as a staff software engineer in the AI team at Twilio, where we are shaping the future of customer AI. Today, I'll be talking about AI-driven transformation in the contact centers and why this is important for all of us. When I say this is important for all of us, you may be from a company that has a product or a service and hence a contact center. You may be a developer who's interested in knowing what problems the industry is solving right now, or you may be a contact center employee, agent, supervisor, manager, or you may be just a common man who has to deal with contact centers once in a while. So this involves all of us. Now, what is the problem that the contact center industry is facing and why we are solving it right now? The problem is that the contact centers are overwhelmed by rising customer expectations. The interaction now are very complex. The volume is very high. The agents, they face burnout and inefficiency because of the systems that they work on are fragmented, and they have to do a lot of repetitive and boring jobs. The timing right now, it is very easy to adapt AI because we are in the era of AI. Everyone is doing AI, at least for the Ghibli images. So the solution is to adapt AI. Now, what AI can do for your contact center is that it can automate your routine work. It can provide you real-time insights, and it can personalize your interactions. You get faster resolutions, you get improved agent performances, and you get a better overall customer experience. Now, what are the technologies that are driving this change? The main technologies driving this change are, first is your virtual agents, second is your NLP, third is your predictive call routing. This is something that is specific to contact center domain. You might not have heard about it. We'll talk about this. The next is AI-based workforce management. Again, something specific to the contact centers. Use cases. I have divided the use cases, the features that AI can enable for your contact center into 3 phases, depending upon where they exist in the journey of a call. When I say call, I mean, let's say you called a contact center or they call you, then these are different phases. The first phase is pre-conversation. This is before you are connected to an agent. You are either waiting on the call or you're talking to a bot or something. So you have your virtual agents, you have your unified profiles, predictive call routing. We'll talk about all these features in detail. The second phase is conversation, when you're talking to the agent or the end customer has dropped from the call, but the agent is still wrapping up the conversation. So we have transcription, summarization, sentiment analysis, topic classification, and then something known as knowledge-based search and next best action. Post-conversation is when the agent has also wrapped up, they have dropped from the call, and contact center supervisors or managers come into picture and they perform some kind of intelligence on this. So we'll talk about these in detail. We saw the features. Let's see some of the impact that AI has created for the companies. Right now, around 76% of the contact centers are using chatbot automation. I think you all would have interacted with chatbots by now. Around 20 to 30% of calls are getting deflected. By deflection, I mean the calls don't need to be transferred to a human agent. The bots or IVRs can take care of it. 25% reduction in repeated queries. Imagine the peace of mind that the agents have because they don't have to answer same thing again and again. There is a company that started adopting AI, and now 66% of their entire chat is handled by bots. There is something known as average handle time. As the name says, it means the time, the average time that you take to handle a call, a task, an incoming task in the contact center. That time has reduced by 20%. There is another company which adapted AI, and their mean time to resolve a query, an incoming query, was around 11 minutes. After AI, it has reduced to around 2 minutes. That is 81% reduction. Now, I think we all have interacted with chatbots. We all have interacted with virtual agents. Have you ever yelled at an agent, asked them to connect you to a human? Have you ever done that? Show me your hand if you've ever done that, right? Right. So this is what happens when you create chatbots just to replace humans and save money. You get customers who are angry, who are frustrated, and your agents now have to deal with them. So both your ends are unhappy now. But if you do it properly, if you use communications, if you use contextual data and AI, you get something which is available 24/7, which is very easy to scale. Even if you want to scale it to different languages, it is very less prone to errors. There is no wait time mostly, and you end up saving a lot of time and eventually a lot of money. Now, I mentioned that you have to design your virtual agents well. How do you design your virtual agents? We'll see in this slide. There is a customer who reaches out to a virtual agent with a query. From that query, we extract the entity and intent from the query. Then your virtual agent initiates two kinds of searches. One is it extracts some identifiable information about the end customer, that is their phone number, mail ID, or something like that. It searches the customer knowledge. It also initiates a semantic search in the business knowledge. Imagine I went and I had a chat with a chatbot and I told them that, oh, I'm flying from Bangalore to Delhi next week. What are my food options? So it will do a semantic search. Okay, this is what the food we serve in the flights. It will search for me. It will say, oh, this guy is a vegetarian. I'll filter the options vegetarian only. So it will get customer history. It will get relevant documents. Now you would have crafted a prompt for this. You have your prompt. You have your initial query. You have your relevant documents, customer history. In this example, it was like that I'm a vegetarian or something like that. And your chat context. Maybe I would have mentioned that this is the date I'm traveling on, or this is the flight or something. And then your LLM crafts a response, personalizes it. Maybe it will add my name or some details or something like that. And it will send it to the virtual agent. Virtual agent now decides if it needs human intervention or not. If human intervention is needed, it will seek out help from a human agent. Otherwise, it will reply to the customer. This is how basically a good virtual agent design looks like. Next thing is something known as predictive call routing. This is specific to call centers. I'll read out the goal and approach, and then we'll see an example of how this works. The goal is to improve first contact resolution and reduce transfers by getting the customer agent pairing right on the first try. So we all have been in situations where we called a contact center. We explained our problem, the entire thing we explained and all that. And then we were told that, oh, I'm not the right person. I'll transfer your call. So predictive call routing avoids such things. What it does is it applies ML models, which can consider hundreds of data points about the customer who's calling, like their profile, their history, any sentiment if they have expressed, like they are angry, or maybe there is an opportunity to upsell there, or any current issues that they are facing, and also about the available agents, their performance matrices. Are they good in handling such calls? Are they good in upselling or handling angry customers? Or maybe the agents have solved similar kind of problems in past 1 hour. So it will consider all this. It will create a pairing for the customer agent, and it will get the pairing right, and the resolution will be faster. We'll see this with an example. Imagine a contact center where you have 6 friends working. Okay, these are the friends. Everyone has their unique skills. Everyone is online. There is an incoming call. The customers wants some fashion advice. They want to pair a dress with an existing dress. All are available except one who's on a break. So to which of these agents should the call be redirected so that it is resolved faster? Who should it be?
Right.
Like person, the name.
Right.
Rachel, right? So if you redirect the call to Rachel, the resolution will be faster. There will be no transfers involved. You'll save time, and you will free your agents faster. There will be better service quality and everything. So predictive call routing is something very crucial for transforming your AI, for contact centers into AI based. Another interesting thing that we've been doing at Twilio is unified profiles. Unified profiles is something where we gather data from different sources about your customers. You may have your data at your website, what your customer is doing at your website or your application, or you have some data in your CRM or any other sources. We gather data from everywhere. We prepare a profile of the customer. Imagine a contact center where this is for car insurance company. A customer has been calling them and asking for discounts. Now there is a sale running on, and they know, okay, that this customer has called us again and again for discount. Now we can offer him discount. So they know why he has called. They know when to reach out to him, when not to reach out to him, when he'll be available, when he'll not be available. They also know where to reach to him, like WhatsApp or phone or SMS or email. They know. They also know what languages he prefers. This makes the entire interaction very easy for everyone. So imagine like the next time you called in a contact center and you did not have to explain what products you have, what you were promised by the last agent when you talk to them, and they know everything. Another thing is transcription. Now we've moved on to features which are utilized when you are in a conversation with the agent. Transcription seems like something very basic, but this is very vital. This empowers everything that comes after this. So transcription, real-time transcription, it converts your conversation into text. Like there is very obvious help with this, that you can have multilingual operations, you can have various accents and dialects and everything you can cover. Other than this, it powers real-time insights like sentiment and all those things. Also, let's say you're running a SIM company, a mobile operator, and you want to know which of your customers are prone to churn to another. So if you have transcriptions available, you can go and search for the name of the competitor that, oh, these customers have threatened to switch, or they have mentioned that the services of the other provider are better. So transcription empowers a lot of things that come after this. Basic flow of transcription, you have your audio source, that is your customer and the agent talking. From there, you capture audio, you stream it, you send it to something known as acoustic model. Acoustic model, what it does, it converts this audio into something known as phonemes. Then it sends it to language model. So phonemes, like for cat, you have K-A-T. So this is what phonemes look like. This is what language model will receive. Language model guesses the most likely word for it, and it will then move to word lattice. Word lattice means a network. So it will create a network of words which are most probable for this. Let's say your audio said ice cream, and this is a call for a restaurant. So the word would obviously be ice cream, right? But if the same audio is for a police station call, so the audio could mean I scream. With the same audio, you could get different words. So this, if you want to get it correct, the best way is to provide some context and some hints. This is where word lattice will give a confidence score to different options, and it will decide what is the output, and it will display the output. This is how basic transcription works. The next thing is interaction summary. So we have a group of features that you see here. These are all related to the summarization. So summarization, very basic. It is summarizing the call. This is when the agent has wrapped up the call, and AI will summarize it into what this call was about. Were we able to give a resolution? If yes, what was the resolution given? If no, then why we were not able to give it? This is of two types. One is post-call summarization, which we just discussed. The other thing is transfer summarization. This is in cases when we need to transfer the call from one agent to another agent, and this is to give the context to the other agent. So no more awkward holds, like when you put one call on the hold and you explain to the other person. AI will summarize it for this next agent. The second thing is sentiment. Sentiment detection, as it says, it will detect the sentiment of the call or the chat or whatever task is going on. This enables two major things. First, if a conversation is at risk, it will flag it, and your supervisor or call center manager can take action on it. It can barge in and coach or whatever is needed. The second thing is later you can personalize coachings based on the sentiment trend. Let's say there is an agent which has a streak of very good positive sentiments. You can ask him to train other agents. There is an agent who has a very negative streak. You know there is some coaching required for that particular agent. Topics. This is something that unlocks structured insights from unstructured data. Let's say you have a call and at the end of the call, AI will tell you that this call was for return, or this particular call was for refund, or something like this. Let's say you launched a new product and you start getting a lot of calls related to it. So if you have topic classification, you will get to know that there is either some issue with your product or there is some issue with training your agents related to that product. So topic unlocks a lot of structured insights. Next thing is training. We touched upon training in these segments already. So with AI, you can enable a lot of training for your agents if there are low quality conversations because of, let's say, sentiment or CSAT score or any other thing. You can train those agents. You can also create dashboards for your existing agents based upon their soft skills, their empathy score or their satisfaction score and all those things. Now, these are some of the numbers that people have observed when they implemented AI. Up to 80% improvement in documentation efficiency. So with AI, the documentation is very efficient, up to 80% efficient. The spelling, grammar, and all these things are taken care of, and it saves time. People have been able to save up to 60 seconds per call. Imagine 60 seconds per call, hundreds of agents at any given moment, and this happening throughout the day. How much time and eventually how much money you save. There is a matrix known as CSAT, which is customer satisfaction score. This is one of the most crucial metrics in contact centers. Using AI, CSAT prediction has improved by 87%. So these are the numbers that companies have seen in just a couple of months after employing AI. Now, what are the challenges that the developers face when they start implementing AI? These are the main challenges that the developers face. I'll not be able to talk in detail about the solutions of each, but I can at least guide where to start looking for the solutions if you run into any of these. So first is your hallucination, a common problem with LLMs. So the solution is to craft task-specific prompts. There are a lot of tools that you can use for this, for prompt engineering, from prompt management and logging and comparing. Multilingual handling. If you are doing multilingual handling, especially in a country like India, sometimes you'll not know before you start transcribing or summarizing it that what is the language of the call. In that case, use a combination of detection and translation. Overlapping categories. In cases like topics, sometimes you have overlapping categories. So the solution is to have multiple levels of topics and subtopics. Like you can have return and then return based upon there was a size issue or there was a product issue or there was a shipment issue or something. So instead of overlapping, have multi-level of categories. Context loss. This is where there is a long conversation and sometimes the context is lost. So if the conversation exceeds too long, divide it into smaller windows and then summarize it. Sarcastic statement, one of the classical problems of NLP word. So if possible, capture voice tone along with the text. That will give you more insight. Topic drift, this is something interesting. So sometimes you initiate a call for a billing issue and then it ends up being a cancellation call. You want to cancel your service or something. So you have drifted, or the customer initially during the call, they were very happy, but over time they became very angry. So what or when this happened, you have to find it out, and that is done via temporal modeling. Privacy in PII, another very important thing. This is something that you cannot compromise on. So practice redaction wherever possible. Redact the data, mask the important information. Retention, have questions on what to retain, where you want to retain it, how long you want to retain it, and who has access to it. Whenever possible, follow guidelines like GDPR and CCPA. Scalability, if you want to have low latency real-time services, then invest in microservices and vector databases. Bias is another classical ML word problem. So we were discussing this in the previous session as well. Train your models on domain-specific and diverse data. This is a small demo of redaction that we will see. Imagine if you have a contact center where your customer has sent you a chat. It contains some information, that is your personal information about the customer and all. And the chat is something like, my name is Bruce Wayne. It has his name, the city, and his organization name. And he wants to order some cars. So in this case, if you pass the information as it is to the LLM, the personal information will be exposed. So before passing this information as it is, what you can do is, like this simple demo I have done using some Hugging Face libraries, uh, named entity recognition mainly. So you can mask this information. When you mask the information, instead of actual real values, you get some named entities. Like you'll get something like this. So you'll get name instead of Bruce Wayne, place instead of Gotham, and all those things. So now you will be able to achieve all your AI features without compromising on the identity of your customer. So no one knows who's that guy and who's running around with those Lamborghinis now. Okay, this is what we just saw. Another thing, another important thing, interesting thing is knowledge-based search. This is where your agents can search from hundreds of available documents. Imagine you have an agent who has a query. He sends his query. This is received by something known as retriever orchestrator. Retriever orchestrator looks into your knowledge base, which could be anything, any kind of data. Knowledge base returns some relevant documents. It does re-ranking of these documents. Selects the top key documents. Let's say the query was about refund, and there are documents related to refund. There is a document called refund policy. There is a document called new refund policy. So it will re-rank those, send it to retriever orchestrator, which now has the relevant documents, questions. It will send it to LLM. LLM will then generate an answer and show it on the UI to the agent. This is how basically your knowledge-based search works. This is where your agents can search from hundreds of documents or different sources of knowledge. Another thing a bit similar is knowledge-based search, or next best action or next best response. This is where your AI will suggest your agent what you can do. So imagine you have a customer and you have an agent. The customer initiates a query from which you extract the content. You then retrieve chat history from the same session or previous sessions. You also retrieve relevant documents from your various data sources. You combine all this, you send it to a LLM-based next best response generator, which then generates the response and then sends some options to the agent. The agent can then send this to the customer or take action whatever has been suggested, and then you gather feedback from this. I'll explain this again with the help of an example. So imagine a customer reached out to you saying that I was charged twice this month. I already paid last week. The intent is a billing issue. The entity that you extract here is charged twice and charged last week. From there, you retrieve chat history. If he has complained about this earlier, or if he has told us, okay, I've paid my bill or something like this, you retrieve relevant documents, let's say your refund policy or something. You send all this to your next best response generator, which generates some responses. You send it to your agent, and then he can choose one of the responses, and that will be displayed to the customer. Okay, your refund has been processed or something like this. Conversation intelligence. This is something that I call a hidden gem, because a lot of people are either not aware about this or they do not consider this important, but this is very crucial if you want to transform your contact centers from traditional to modern. Before we begin, like, have you ever had a call where at the end of the call you have rated the agent, like on a scale of 1 to 5 or something like this? You've done that, right? Congratulations, you're in the top 5%, because 95% of the calls, they go unnoticed, like they are not ranked. Traditionally, only 5% of the calls are given a CSAT score. Only 1 to 3% of calls are reviewed by the supervisors. And because of this, the coaching is either very delayed or partial, because most of the calls have not been reviewed, right? And a lot of insights about your agents or about your product are missed. And your QA staff, for which is there to assess the quality of your calls and services, is very limited, and they cannot go ahead and do a quality assurance on each and every interaction that your company is having. Now, in modern contact centers, using AI, you'll be able to transcribe 100% of your calls. Quality assurance, it can auto-score every call. CSAT prediction models, we have seen more than 80% accuracy. So this is what conversational intelligence enables. Trend analysis across common pain points. Let's say you have some issues with your product or something. So if you are getting too many calls, and AI can analyze that, it can see the topic, it can see the sentiment on those calls, it can detect if there is a trend, a positive trend or a negative trend. It may be a trend for upselling or something as well. People have observed up to 129% increase in agents completing their assignments related to quality assurance. And supervisors who used to rate the call can do same in 50% less time. One of the biggest problem that the contact center industry faces is churn, like people from one contact center shifting to another contact center. And you cannot put a new agent on call to talk to them, make them talk to your actual customers on day one. There is a learning curve that is involved. With AI, that curve has reduced by 50%. So you have 50% faster agent onboarding with AI-driven agent assist. Also, new agents perform 35% better compared to before AI. There is a company that started doing their trainings using AI. Uh, Initially, agents used to take up to 6 months to be able to take calls and all, and now they can immediately take call. So they have bridged the gap of this training by 6 months using AI, and this was just in 2 months of adapting. Now, the coming way, because this is what I predict AI-based contact centers to be very soon. Hyper automated. Imagine end-to-end workflows automated. You tell, oh, I have a problem in uploading my image in my profile. They'll create a video for you based upon your app. This is how you can do it, or they'll do it on your behalf. Hyper personalized. We discussed few examples, but this will go to next level because of the insights that AI will enable. Multilingual. You'll be able to support more markets. You'll be able to support more languages. Multi-channel, multimodal. Imagine you having a conversation with a contact center. You call them up, you explain them a problem over call. Once you wrap up your call, you send them some images over WhatsApp. And then next you take a follow-up on text. Hey, what happened to my request? So you've talked with them in different modes, like over call, over chat, over images. And you've talked them on various channels, like voice call and social media and text. So this is what the contact centers of future will look like. This all will see like one seamless session. Predictive, proactive. Contact centers will be able to reach out before you reach them. They'll sense any issues. They'll sense an opportunity for upsell. They'll reach out to you. MCP driven. MCP is one of the hottest buzzwords right now in the AI industry, and I think it will have a great impact on contact centers, mainly because it will enable memory-driven conversations, and agents, AI agents will be able to take a lot of actions depending upon the dynamic context. Like imagine your virtual agents being able to run queries in your databases or call APIs or automate workflows and all that. This is what we will observe very soon in the contact centers. Now, talking about the takeaways. First is AI drives quality and efficiency together. We have seen that AI has driven quality. Quality has improved, and your agents are at much better place right now. Your agents, their workload has reduced. They feel better, and your customers also feel better. Real value comes from thoughtful integration. AI is only as good as the integration that it is supporting. Invest in good handoffs, easy handoffs, invest in training, invest in meaningful matrices, what matters for your business. Ethics, privacy, and bias, these are not options. These are very important. So if you are implementing these things, make sure that you follow the best practices. This is how you'll gather the trust of your end customers as well as your internal agent teams. The next, this is software engineering basics. Start small and then scale smart. So start with some very basic use case like transcription, then run it, gather feedback, make improvements if possible, and then go big bang on next set of features. This is what I want to leave you with. AI is not here to take over. It is here to take away what holds us back. That's all I had. Thank you so much.